Welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I planned on releasing this a little bit further down the road, but Greg and I have been unable to get together and film for the last actually a couple weeks now, and we didn't have a Thursday video ready, so this one's coming out on Thursday instead of later down the road like I planned on it. So recently, my wife and I went on a vacation, a cruise, for the sole purpose of bourbon hunting and recording bourbon and cocktail related content for the channel. So here's how this is going to break down. I'm going to put all of the bourbon hunting stuff at the very beginning for those of you who just want to check out bourbon hunting stuff, because I know that's kind of a popular thing. I filmed some footage in Minneapolis, Orlando, a little bit on the ship at the duty free, and then at the duty free in Cozumel, and then the duty free in the Orlando airport. And there were actually some really cool bottles. I did pick some stuff up, so I'll have a bottle haul at the end. After that, we actually went around the ship and we recorded some reviews of some whiskey related cocktails and things like that. Unfortunately, I did lose a bunch of those files off of a different camera, but I managed to salvage the ones I filmed on my phone, so I will include a couple of those. So this will actually include a very, very rare first time ever brief appearance by my wife. But then I'll go around the ship and kind of show you pictures of some of the bars and the different bourbon availabilities that were on the ship. The ship was the Mariner of the Seas by Royal Caribbean. We had a really good time. So anyway, let's get into the content. But real quick before we do, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, that would be great. As I'm recording this, we're just knocking on the door of that 3,000 subscriber mark, and we'd love to get there sooner than later. So if you could help us out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So let's get into it and check out the duty free at the Minneapolis Airport Terminal 2. So for like the last 3 or 4 years, every time I've flown out of Terminal 2 in Minneapolis, the duty free has been closed. It's a very small shop, but I'm gonna head in there and see if there's anything worth checking out. Signal Hill, I don't know what that is. Middle West White Rye. .103 proof brown sugar bourbon. That's interesting. Okay, they have a donut vending machine here. This is amazing. As I said in the little intro there, in the last 4 years of flying out of that terminal, that was the first time that one's ever been open. Very small, but I was kind of interested in those Middle West spirits. I've never had anything from them before, so I mean the prices were a little bit steep. Of course, I couldn't buy anything because I wasn't flying internationally. We're actually flying to Orlando on this vacation, so couldn't buy anything, but still always like to check out the duty free and see what is available. The next clip here is at the liquor store near the airport in Orlando. I apologize for the choppy footage. I forgot to turn the Steadicam function on my phone, and as it turns out, it makes a huge difference. But I did remember to turn it on for this stuff after that. So let's check out the airport liquors outside the Orlando International Airport. All right, I'm in beautiful metropolitan Orlando at the moment. So there's a liquor store right across the street from my hotel. And half the time when I go on vacation, or actually more than half the time, I get completely skunked on bourbon hunting. Either the stores are closed or there's nothing near my hotel. It tends to never work out. So I'm hoping that this store is open. It's Monday. And that they maybe have some cool stuff that I can't get in Minnesota. So let's find out here. Cobra Fire. Oh, brandy. Okay, so as you saw, the prices at that place were ridiculous. They also had a couple things behind the counter that I didn't film. They had that new Wild Turkey Generations bottle. That's the collab between Jimmy, Eddie, and then the younger one. I can't remember which one. But they were charging $900 for that. And then they had one of the Woodford, batch proof, or one of the special releases. I didn't see which one it was. It was $350. So they had some of that Bardstown Bourbon Company. We don't get that in Minnesota, but I don't know. I don't know what the normal price is on some of those bottles because they vary quite a bit. But just based on what they were charging for everything else, I assumed that those prices were a little bit out of control. So, says there's another liquor store about a 10-minute walk from here, so I'm gonna go check it out. I don't know if I'm expecting anything better. They're both called Airport Liquors, so maybe they're owned by the same place. But hey, it's nice out. I'm on vacation. It was like 10 below when I left yesterday, so it's 70 degrees now. So I'm going for a walk and enjoying it, and maybe we'll get lucky and this place won't have such bad prices. But all right, I got to check the map and see where I am. And that didn't work out. So it says they're open, but they're clearly not. So that's a bummer. I don't know why they're not open, but oh well. Well, as you can see, the prices there were horrific. They had a decent selection, but yeah, nothing I was gonna pick up. If I had seen something that I absolutely know I can't get in Minnesota and really, really wanted, I probably would have picked it up and just brought it with me throughout the rest of the vacation, but not at those prices. So the next one here, now at this point, we're gonna show you some stuff from on the ship and from the duty free in Cozumel. So this next clip is the duty free on the Mariner of the Seas. They had a really cool selection of stuff. Duty frees tend to be very Scotch forward, and I did get some footage of that, but they did have some bourbon related stuff too, so let's check that out. All right, we're gonna go check out the Port Merchants duty free on the ship. Special kind of Johnny Blue. So these are 1 liter bottles. There's a Woodford rye behind there as well. The Yellow Rose. It's mostly rum, but then there's some Scotch over here. Tasted this one time. It was actually pretty good. All right, so some cool expensive scotches there, kind of to take note of. I believe that the Enigma, the Terra, and the Quest by Macallan, those are duty-free only, international travel exclusive. They did have those available on the ship. I'll get to that a little bit later. I did do a quick review of one of those. But let's get to the Cozumel duty-free, and I am going to preface this one by saying this one's a little bit of a letdown, not because they didn't have a great selection, because they did, and I bought a decent amount of bottles. But it turns out you're not allowed to film or take pictures in duty-frees in Mexico. And so I was filming and I got through all the scotches, and just when I got to the bourbon part, the woman came up and asked me to stop filming. So, but check out the cool scotches, and then when I come back, I'm gonna show you the bottle haul of stuff that I did buy at the Cozumel duty free.
Never seen the Johnny Walker Island Green before.
The what?
They have a ton of whiskey here. I wasn't expecting that. The last couple times that I've been in duty-free shops, they haven't had a whole lot, to be honest. Little mini bottles.
Okay, so again, like I said, the bourbon hunting filming got cut off just when I got to the bourbon. They had a really great selection of Jack Daniel's stuff, which is the only part that stood out as unique, where they had some Travelers exclusive. But I didn't get footage of that, but I did get footage of pretty much the same selection in the Orlando duty free, and I'll show you that right now.
So they had the rye one here. I picked up a couple bottles of that, but they didn't have the sweet and oaky. Unfortunately, I can't buy any of these because I'm at the Orlando airport and I'm not traveling internationally from here. Some standard Jack products.
Su atención, por favor, esta es la última llamada para
a little
los
expensive.
pasajeros de Avianca del vuelo 237.
Those look like liter bottles. They had this in Cozumel, and I did not pick one up. $100, I just don't know if I was quite that interested in it.
237, destination Medellin. Please proceed to the gate number 84.
These are good, but I got those for $21 a piece, 2 of them on the ship. That's pretty awesome.
Su atención, por favor, esta es la última llamada para los pasajeros de Avianca.
Another standard Jack Daniels.
237, con destino Medellín. Favor presentarse a la puerta 84. This is the final and last boarding call.
Nothing exciting there. Man, I really wish I could grab one of these. That's a bummer. But I did get 2 of these, so I'm excited to try that. And that's about it.
Okay, so obviously I couldn't buy anything in the Orlando duty free because I was not flying internationally. Obviously, I was flying back to Minneapolis at that point. But here's what I got on the trip. Here's the bottle haul overall. So I did get, bam, Jack Daniel's bottled in bond. I purchased this on the ship. I got a deal, 2 for $52, I think. So I mean, 26 bucks for a liter of this. That's ridiculous. I'm taking that deal all day long. I'm not sure I was supposed to get that deal. The guy might have rung this up wrong and charged me the same price that they charged for the Jack Daniel's Honey, I think was on the same shelf. But I don't know. Either way, I got a good deal. So I did get, bam, 2 of them. Next up, these are the bottles that I got at the Cozumel duty free. One of these you saw at the Orlando International Airport, and that was, bam. This is this Jack Daniel's Bold and Spicy, 107 proof rye whiskey, straight Tennessee rye. This is a 500 milliliter bottle. I did get backups of all of these bottles, by the way, so I did get 2 of these. You saw at Orlando they did have the another one kind of like this. It was called Sweet and Oaky or something like that. Unfortunately, they didn't have that in Cozumel, so I couldn't buy it. And but I did get the rye, so I'm very happy about that. I also picked up 2 of these, bam. These are the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select, but they're the international travel exclusive because these are actually 100 proof. I believe the normal Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select is 94 proof, I'm pretty sure. So I'm looking forward to getting into these. Not a whole lot different, you know, the 6 proof points, but I mean, you know how it is when you're into collecting bourbon. You see a new label, you got to get it, right? So super looking forward to getting into these. Look for reviews of the single barrel and this interesting Bold and Spicy rye coming up soon. And we already have a review of this out, so if you want to go check that out. So anyway, that's the bottle haul. They also had in Cozumel, just like you saw in Orlando, they had that liter bottle of Jack Daniel's. It's an Oloroso sherry cask finished single malt, American single malt. I was tempted to get that, but at $100 and also a liter bottle, and also, you know, having already picked up these, I had to start considering space in my suitcase, which I barely fit this stuff. And I just don't know that I was interested enough in the American single malt to spend $100 when I already spent a couple $100 on these. These were definitely more of a priority. They also had, at Cozumel, they had the Sinatra Select for $155, which is a really good deal for that, but I've had it before. It's not a $155 whiskey to me, so I left that one on the shelf. And beyond that, I think they had pretty much the same stuff that you kind of saw at that Orlando one. So anyway, score on these in Cozumel. If you're going to Cozumel on a cruise anytime soon, be sure to check out the duty free because they do have a really good selection. And if you're into Scotch, they've got a ton of Scotch. So onward to the next part of the video here. I'm just gonna throw some random content up there. I filmed a couple reviews of like 2 drinks, maybe interesting whiskey cocktails that they had on the ship. One of them was called a painkiller, and one of them was called, it was actually a marshmallow or s'mores or something old fashioned. And they were both pretty interesting. So I'll put a quick little review of that up. A little quick review of my wife doing a review of a Bud Light. And then a quick review of the Macallan Quest, which is a Scotch that I tried. And that was pretty interesting. So again, meant to have more like interesting, cool cocktail videos from on the ship, but I lost a bunch of files, so this is what I could salvage. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, take 2 of the toasted marshmallow old fashioned because my lovely wife did not hit record on the first one. Let's have a taste here. It's really good. This would be excellent with like an Elijah Craig toasted barrel, one of those ones that kind of has more like a s'moresy vibe to it. But yeah, that's really good. It's kind of exactly as advertised. Marshmallowy, toasty. There it is.
My wife is gonna have to review some sort of booze on this trip. So, ladies and gentlemen, my wife. What do you think of the Bud Light?
I think it's delicious. I like how it tastes when it touches my lips.
Perfect. There it is.
Okay, so this is a penicillin, and it is Monkey Shoulder Blended Scotch, Lefroy 10. lemon juice, honey syrup, and ginger syrup, which sounds like a really odd Addams Family sort of combination of booze, but we're going to give it a shot here. Cheers. It's actually not bad. It's somewhat refreshing, but it's a little difficult. My lovely wife is recording this, by the way, just so everyone on YouTube knows that, including the IRS. I didn't see them. What?
It's shaky.
I didn't see them actually put Lafroig 10 in here, and I didn't see that behind the bar, but I'm assuming maybe it was pre-mixed with something else because I haven't seen Lafroig 10 anywhere else on this ship. But yeah, I don't know. This is a weird combination of booze. We got this in the, what was it, the Bamboo Room? Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. And they specialize in weird cocktails, so let's try it one more time. It's odd. I mean, it's not bad. I won't have a hard time drinking it, but I don't know. I had to get it like Lafroig 10 in a cocktail. I feel like that's one of those things where either you love that or you hate it. And so why would you ever put that into anything else?
That's what she said.
There you go. Cheers.
Okay, I did want to review this one scotch here. This is Macallan Quest, and apparently it's a traveler's exclusive Macallan, quadruple barrel finished. Didn't say what kind of barrels, just said I think American and European oak. Retails for about $100 in the duty free, and yeah, I've never had it before. So, oh, by the way, check out the sunburn from the sunglasses. Awesome. You know what? It smells like scotch. I don't know if I just don't have a palate for scotch, but I gotta tell you, every time I have an expensive scotch, it tastes just like every other scotch that I've had. So I just don't really... I've got a Macallan 18 at home that's a triple cast finish. Retails, I think, for about $120 or something like that. It tastes like scotch. I don't know. But anyway, let's get the actual taste here, not just the nose. Cheers. Got a little more of an oak bite to it than I was expecting. I didn't get the proof on this one. I can probably put that up on the screen. But yeah, I suppose this one actually does have a little bit more to it than some of the other ones I've had. $100? I don't know about that. Let's have one more sip here. I mean, it's good. As scotches go, it's good, for sure. Nice vanillas, nice oak. Has all those apples and pears that I usually get out of scotches. But I just don't know if it's that much different that, you know, it warrants the $100 price point. If you're a scotch enthusiast, it might. But, good Lord, look at that. That's just awful. That's what you get for being a ginger and wearing your sunglasses out in the sun and only having SPF 50. Anyway, the Macallan Quest is pretty good. I don't think that me as a more of a bourbon-oriented person would pay $100 for it, but, you know, you might. It's definitely got all the scotch notes that you would assume it would have, but definitely some nice vanillas and a good oak bite to it, so there you have it.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's my vacation in a nutshell, at least as far as booze goes. Actually, there's a lot more booze that went on that vacation than what you saw in the video. But that's all I have recorded. That's all I have to share with you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just a little, some sort of a different content here to throw at you on a Thursday. Thank you very, very much for watching. And again, please hit the subscribe button. Help us get to that 3,000 mark. Until next time, I can't steal Greg's line. See you soon.